Here's a fun computer science question for you. At what point does data become information? Well, let's work through an example. Let's say I had a question maybe about how important data and analysis is in the Louisiana State Standards for Computer Science in kindergarten through fifth grade. Well, I would come to this is my source. Here is where I would go and look at maybe the relative frequency, the counts for each core concept, how many standards are there. And I could gather my data by maybe doing a tally there. So I have a count of what the frequency of each one. So once I've gathered my data, the next step is to arrange the data in a way that can be formatted and saved. So here I've decided to make a T-chart. So for each concept, here is the count of the number of standards. So for some people, a T-chart is enough of a visualization. If you're used to looking at numbers and dealing with numbers, then maybe you can get a story out of this. Maybe you can get a conclusion. But most of us need a little extra help in the form of a data visualization. So let's take this and see what Google Sheets can do out of it. Oh, there we go. We made a pie chart. So this is using the program that's already made by Google. It's built in. There are some things we can change about it, but there are some things we can't change about it. Like instead of a pie, what if I wanted to represent that as parts of an apple, right? Or emojis that are one for each standard. Oh, that could be really cool. But there are only certain options available to you in a program that someone else has written. So the next step would be to process this on your own. So if you have taken a course or have experience in computer science, software development, information systems, data science, or artificial intelligence, that sets you up to write your own program that will process and visualize the data the way you want it. And then you might get something like this. Now, I made that because that's the story I wanted to tell about these data and analysis standards. The pie chart wasn't good enough for me. I wanted to use the intensity of the color and the lengths of the bars, and also the suspense of watching them grow, so you're almost rooting for them. And for me, this now really well communicates the information that algorithms and programming has the highest number of standards, but data and analysis is really close. It's only one fewer. The total number of standards is 34. And computing systems, networks, and the internet, impacts of computing all have way fewer standards than data analysis and algorithms and programming. So I can say that these are probably the two areas that are most important to Louisiana in terms of K-5 computer science standards. So I encourage you to go out in the world and try this. See where data visualizations have happened, what stories they tell, right? What's the difference between just the raw data, the unstructured numbers, the counts, and the story that a person has chosen to tell through interpreting the data and communicating it to you as information using words and shapes and colors and sizes and spinning and animation and all of those things. So go out there, be a data scientist. It's part of computer science and it's about telling stories with information.